First of all, was Mandy's performance breathtaking? You know, just stay for 1 second. As we were watching the fundraising appeal, Tom and I were commenting, we've been to so many fundraising dinners, and I have never seen a paddle raise like that. Thank you to everyone for stepping up for the Stonewall Community Foundation. As those last $100 donations were coming in, I was adding in my head, and it seemed like we were getting to like 194, 195, 195,000. And I want Broadway Cares to get us to the $200,000 goal. So Tom and I wanted to make a $5,000 additional donation. Thank you. On behalf of Mandy and the extraordinary Broadway community that helps us day in and day out do what we do. And that will supply 50 hygiene and, I looked at the list, hygiene and personal wellness kits for 5,000. So thank you.
Hold on just a second. Truly, none of this would be possible without folks like Mandy, who's not only an extraordinary trustee, but she's a brilliant artist and a brave and courageous activist. So thank you, Mandy. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, the entire Broadway community, for making this possible for you. Oh. And now back to the script. So, thank you, Mandy. Yes, indeed. Danny, we jump right to you.
I'll jump to you here after he compliments Mandy on her beautiful performance. Yeah, he says how brilliant she was in all these different shows, but I say, but it was her head turning. I just want to tell you about when we all discovered her at Broadway Cares. So it was her head turning. Who is that performance in Lennon and In the Heights? Nina Rosario. Where Broadway and audiences alike truly got a sense of the emotional and vocal powerhouse that she is. Thank you for being here tonight to honor Broadway Cares. It means so much to Tom and me.
And you know, Hamilton, many of you think is really all about Hamilton and Burr, but the fact of the matter is Danny and I are thrilled to stand up here with the Schuyler sister, Angelica, Eliza, and Peg. So, let's be honest. Yes, let's be serious for a minute. These are complicated, difficult times right now. The news this morning was a gut punch, but one that we can take, and one that we can overcome, and one from which we can ultimately fucking thrive. Certainly when I think back to the early days of Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS, those dark, horrific times when we were losing so many dear friends and colleagues all at once, and also realizing that so many were turning their back on us, that there were not necessarily people willing to reach out. But right about at the same time as Broadway Cares beginnings, Stonewall Community Fund emerged from the same and overlapping fertile soils. The founders had a brilliant and daring solution, creating a foundation for us and by us, where loss could inspire legacy and the power of individual giving could be amplified many times over.
The purpose of Broadway Cares and Stonewall Community Foundation was very similar: to embrace and fund small grassroots nonprofit organizations and people experiencing the greatest vulnerability. Now, years later, we still share those same values, and actually many of the same grantees, supporting the LGBTQ+ community, lifting up queer youth and the trans community, providing care and medication for those who are HIV positive, prevention, including PrEP. Yes. Providing healthy meals to those struggling financially with illness or homebound, housing, and access to quality health care, and leading grassroots advocacy work for our entire community.
Yes. We were in the fight together. Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS and the Stonewall Foundation side by side. You did it, but all of you were at a little bit of a disadvantage because you did it without jazz hands. But truly, you built a grassroots movement of philanthropy, leadership, and compassion, one organization and one person at a time. For Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS to be recognized with and by the Stonewall Community Foundation is deeply meaningful to myself and to Danny and to the Broadway community, to the staff that joins us at this table today. It feels a little bit like a queer, grassroots, good housekeeping seal of approval. And I have to say that Danny and I are probably the only two in the room wearing Dockers, one of your sponsors today. Right? I veered from the script. Where am I? That's you.
Yeah, that's me. So, so thank you, Dockers. Thank you, Elisa, Lauren, Gatlin, and Chasm, and to the Stonewall board, especially our longtime friend and champion, Javi Morgado.
Yay.
For years, Stonewall Community Foundation has fought for all of us to live in dignity and with full rights. Much has changed for the better, but as we learned twice today, we're not there yet. Too many are still living in a world that has barely moved forward. The thing is, we've got a lot of work ahead of us. Stonewall Community Foundation will be more important than ever in the months and years ahead.
So as we go through each day, we are offered the opportunity, all of us, to prove that decency is not weakness, and that we can say yes to both kindness and courage. Yes to inclusion, yes to speaking truth to power, yes to seeing more than just ourselves reflected in the glass, and yes, again and again, to diversity, equity, and inclusion. That does not change or go away because somebody doesn't want to see it in a mission statement. That is something we live with. That is something we can live by and make sure that we are always a part of. And yes, especially to love.
These seemingly small, often deeply personal decisions can gather into a whirlwind that creates change in our hearts, in our community, and even now, in our deeply troubled country.
So Danny and I thank you on behalf of everyone at Broadway Cares, on behalf of the Broadway community, for this very, very generous honor. We are particularly happy to be here with Fernando Fabre, Urban Decay, Lana Zanel, and Bob the drag queen.
Now, go out, celebrate Pride now and every day. On Sunday, we'll be celebrating Pride with 215 Broadway dancers strutting their stuff at Broadway Bears. So join us.
Yes, indeed. We join the Stonewall Community Foundation in this moment of pride, grateful for our beautiful, compassionate rainbow community, and grateful to all of you. Thank you very, very much for this honor.